Today's topic of discussion, we are looking at blockchain and its application. And this time around, the use case is on agriculture. Blockchain in farming, blockchain in agribusiness. And today, we've hosted Mr. Kutesa Kwes, who is already practicing blockchain in farming here in Uganda, in East Africa. Yes. So let's talk about blockchain in farming. How are you finding the opportunity to the country, to the African market, and also to our farmers?
Okay, now blockchain.
First and foremost, what is blockchain?
Okay, blockchain essentially is a decentralized ledger.
Okay.
It's like how I can have the best example I can give. People don't farm. People, when you go to a building, maybe a government office or a hospital or any of these buildings, sometimes you find security checkpoints at the entrance, and then you have a guard. He brings you a book. You record. You record the time in, time out, your license plate, you sign. Now the fact that the people who come go in and go out sign this book, the fact that there's a guard who holds this book, anyone can now look at that ledger later or that book and know all the activity in that place, who came in, who went out. So as you add more information, you can also get a bigger picture. Who came in, who came out. Maybe if you have a store, what goods were sold, what goods came in. So now the blockchain is now a digital, decentralized ledger. It's not just one book being held by a shopkeeper or a guard. It's a digital copy that everyone has, all the stakeholders. So anytime there's a transaction, it's recorded and it's recorded on everyone's ledger, so we can all see that this transaction took place. These goods moved from A to B, this person received this and that, this payment was made. So that's the beauty about blockchain, is it de-risks some of the transactions and contracts people get into. Because at the end of the day, whether you're selling your farm produce beforehand, or whether you're selling on an actual day, someone's coming to your market to buy produce, that's a transaction. There's a contract you're in, whether it's verbal, whether you're hiring employees, contracting people, paying service providers, people give you fuel or inputs. At the end of the day, these are all contracts people are engaged in every day. So if we have a digital platform or blockchain where these contracts can be recorded, it also helps de-risk for any financial institution, any investor, any stakeholder, even government agents who's trying to regulate or tax the activities people are doing. Because one of the challenges we have again in Africa is a narrow tax base, because so much of our economic activities in the informal sector. Money is changing hands, and no one is there to take note of these transactions and figure out how do we tax these people. So the assumption is people who live in rural areas can't be taxed. Farmers can't be taxed. Yet if you understood better their transaction, you could tax them, enhance their livelihood, enhance also their
service delivery.
Yes, the service delivery in their communities, and enhance also the money they make at the end of the day.
Oh yes.
Yeah, de-risk all of those activities. So that's what blockchain presents, the opportunity.
Wow. I am fired up. This is amazing. This is interesting to find an expert like him already practicing blockchain in farming. When did you start the journey of blockchain in your agribusiness?
Well, around 2017,
Okay.
we started looking at how can we document the relationships we have.
Okay.
We have farmers in our community, people who are willing to trade with us, people who are willing who we support in giving inputs, in looking to pre-finance. But how can we document these relationships so that we can move and
you also pre-finance your farmers?
Yes, we do. We do some arrangements. Either we get an off-taker.
Okay.
But the challenge again is, how do you document this relationship with these people, with these outgrowers? How do you document it, and how do you present this to people who can invest, who can come in, people who can provide inputs or soft skills or trainings? When you have a platform where you can document these people and these relationships you have, Now someone can visually see your business, the scalability, your scope, and exactly where you're standing. And this is what the Internet of Things presents. Apart from just blockchain, all of these technological tools we have now are allowing us to capture data and make data-driven decisions, and which are more secure, which are easier to understand across different markets.
I have a friend of mine, he normally tells me that the largest mineral today that the world is scrambling for is data. It's no longer even these metals that we've seen, gold, silver, and what. Everyone is scrambling for data. How much data do I have for this particular group of people? Something of that nature. So now you've started capturing data from the farmers.
So what we started with, back to your point again, we have to recognize this is a fourth industrial revolution right now. Like you said, data is driving everything. It's driving investment decisions, policy change, and the way we're reshaping the world and how we all can either conserve the environment, secure that we have enough food and other resources to take care of our
climate
future.
Change.
Yes, all of these concerns are coming in. Smart cities, how are people communicating, how are people living, what are people eating, is the food they're getting safe, is it moving in a proper manner, is it packed well, so all of this data is enhancing your ability to market your produce if you're in the agricultural sector.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So back to your question, you wanted to know how we started this. So what we went into, we invested into digital mapping of farmers.
Wow. Digital mapping.
Yeah.
Are you guys listening to all these terminologies? Write them down somewhere, because in future they're going to save your business. Digital mapping.
So by digital mapping and digital profiling, what I mean is we visit a farmer, we see their field, we measure it out, we see the GPS coordinates, we capture them, and then we ask them information through generated forms. Your name, how many people are in your household, your national ID, all of these. So all of these help ascertain that this is an actual farmer living in this area, this is his farm, these are his coffee trees, this is what he's harvesting.
You also record the coffee trees?
Yes, we also record that.
Wow.
And so we have an application where you can actually see the people we have. So anytime I'm moving, I'm pitching, I'm in meetings, I'm able to show people that there's actually a community of farmers whom we're working with.
Awesome.
And that helps create relationships with stakeholders abroad, people who might never even travel and come to Uganda. They can look at that and see, okay, this is an actual farming community, these are actual people, these are their names, this is where they live, this is the coffee they're producing.
Bro, I look forward to visit that community. I look forward to work with you. We document some of those things, practically how the community lives. This is amazing. This is interesting. So, in your analysis and your view, how do you see blockchain applied in let me call it in farming? Not even as your company or your organization, but also to a commercial level. How do you advise farmers, those who are watching us from the southern part of Africa, the many farmers there, in Namibia, Botswana, West Africa, East Africa, and also at the government levels? What could be your analysis, due to the fact that you've already taken a step and you've done some bit of understanding?
Okay, so where I see this technology really coming in and making a difference is in something called contract farming.
Yes.
Now, once you have a blockchain and you have farmers mapped, their acreage mapped, maybe there's land they're not utilizing, whether they're in dairy, in beef, in coffee, in any other commodities, the blockchain can allow other stakeholders to come on board, maybe transporters, people in warehousing, traders, people who are willing to invest. They can all come together now and interact and now they can venture into a secure form of contract farming.
Okay.
So let's say farmer A has 10 acres,
Mhm.
which he doesn't utilize. He can get it mapped, upload it on an application,
Mhm.
and someone who says, look, I'm interested in...
How do you map it? Do you have a drone or?
Yes, we're now venturing into drone. First, we used mobile-based GPS coordinates to
Mhm.
capture coordinates,
Mm.
but now we're venturing into our next phase of scaling up.
Mm.
So we're going into drones.